Hey everyone, it's Louise. I'm back again. Today's Saturday. We've just picked up my middle child from the airport and had breakfast with him. And I'm going to make a pumpkin soup. I bought some pumpkin last weekend to make pumpkin soup and can it. I didn't get to it last weekend because last winter I was taking little jars of homemade canned pumpkin soup to work, and it was absolutely delicious. And I'd make some toast at work and have that with my pumpkin soup for lunch, and it was really good. This year, of course, I'm carnivore, so I'm not going to do that, but I still love pumpkin soup. But I'm putting it up on the shelf, one as something to have for the kids to have as a quick lunch or dinner if we need it, and then if things go and the food supply runs out, then I'm going to have little pumpkin soups on the shelf so we can have those if we need them. So I'm going to get making that. My youngest, as I said, was getting a cold yesterday. He's sick today and he really wants it for lunch. So it's probably not going to be ready for lunch, but we did just have breakfast. So it'll be ready in a couple of hours. So I'm going to make some pumpkin soup and I thought I'd bring you along. Okay, so over here I've got all my cans from last night that I did canning and yesterday. They're mostly looking good. There's a couple that I'm a little bit worried about, to be honest. This one on the end isn't sucked down. I'm just going to let it sit for a little bit and hopefully they will seal, but there might be one or two there that haven't sealed, but most of them look good. Anyway, I've got my middle child home, so I'm sure he will eat them up otherwise. And yeah, so these are the two butternut pumpkins I bought last week. And I've got my own homemade chicken stock that I made last year. So I don't have a lot of room on my countertop, as you can see. This is pretty much all the working space I've got. So I'm going to do this a little bit backwards, and I'm going to cook up the onion first. Then once that's translucent, I'll turn it off, and then I will chop up the rest of my veggies and pop them in, then turn it back on, just to make it a little bit easier for me. I know that's a little bit backwards, but anyway, that's all I can do at this point in time. Okay, so I finally got that chopped, all of that in there, and now I'll just put these chicken stocks in. Hang on a second. Okay, so I'm just jumping in while I'm editing again. Hopefully you can see me with the sun behind me. I'm just sitting on my lounge editing. Anyway, I realized that clip had been cut off. My phone was playing up with storage and I didn't realize halfway through that something has got cut off. So I was just explaining that I've realized with chicken stock homemade, I actually make it for 3 days. So it's in the slow cooker for 3 days, full 3 days. That it's really, really rich. And so when you're adding it to things, you have to kind of be careful. If you're comparing it to store-bought stock, for example, it's way richer. And last year I made a batch of pumpkin soup and I completely filled the amount of water with my homemade chicken stock, and it was really um, oily, I guess, because there's oil in the chicken broth, bone stock, I should say. Um, and so it was a bit oily and very strong. It had a real chicken stock taste. So I ended up salvaging it by going and getting more pumpkin and adding that in. So I didn't waste it in the end. I just made a lot bigger batch of pumpkin soup in the end than what I was trying to do. So it was a mistake I made. So it was just I just wanted to jump in, and because I got cut off there, and say that, yeah, that's what I was saying, that with chicken stock, you do have to be careful. Now, that was a massive pot of pumpkin, and I only put those 2 jars in it, which is only around about, I think they're about 475 mils each or something like that. So just under a litre, um, around 8 to 900 mils of stock, and the rest was water with pumpkin. So just be careful of that and be very, very mindful. In this video, I will jump to the next day very shortly. I did get sick as well. So I didn't end up recording a lot, and I apologize for any sniffles you heard in the video leading up to that. I was starting to get sick myself, so I don't think I recorded a lot coming up, but that would be why. But anyway, hopefully I've told you what I need to tell you now. So thanks for your patience. Okay, and I just forgot to add that my son actually did get to eat the pumpkin soup for his lunch, and he devoured it and loved it. And he's actually eaten some out of the jars that I canned since. So my goal is in the next week or two to actually make up another huge batch and try and get some as many as I can on the shelf, because I know once he starts to really like something, he will continue to eat it quite regularly. So, yeah, I'm going to try and do as much pumpkin soup as I can in the next few weeks while, pumpkins for us are really in season at the moment. This is sort of when they're coming out, so, or have been out. It's going into winter here soon, so we're in autumn. So, yeah. So I plan on making a lot more pumpkin soup in the near future. There was something else I was going to say. What was it? That's right. You get to this age, you start to forget a lot of stuff. And now my mind's gone blank again. Oh, that's right. I was just going to say, I don't think I explained in the video. Everything got cut short, but I just had those two butternut pumpkins, and then I think I added about four potatoes. They weren't huge potatoes, so I added four. Usually I try and do one large potato to a butternut pumpkin, roughly. And, pardon me. And just some onion, like an onion and some butter. As you saw, I just softened the onion, then added in the pumpkin and potato, and then put some stock in it, and then added it, filled up the rest, almost about 3/4 of the height of the pumpkin with water. And I don't add any sour cream or cream. I just leave it plain, and then I can it up, and yeah, and just have it like that. And when you can it, it does get really thick, and I think with potato helps the creaminess as well. Yeah, and it's really good. It's so delicious. And if you wanted to make it vegetarian, obviously just put in vegetable stock instead of chicken stock. But I find that the chicken flavor just adds something else to it, especially not adding cream or dairy. It adds that extra fat and creaminess without it being cream, if that makes sense. So, yeah, it's really good. So I highly recommend. It's so simple, and yeah, and canning it is so easy. I can't remember exactly. I think it's like 40 minutes to an hour. Water bath can. I'll look it up and I'll see if I can put it in the notes below. All right, I think that's about it now. I'll see. There's probably something else I'll come back with later, but we'll see how we go. Okay, so I got Logan's cold and I've taken a couple of days off, but I've come back. So these are all the meals that I have canned. So we've got the stews and we've got the pumpkin soup that I made. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pumpkin soup. We actually had 9, but my son ate one. I've just reprocessed one of the pumpkin soups and 3 celery because they didn't seal. And yesterday I actually reprocessed these 5 jars as they didn't seal properly the first time, and all of that was my fault. I overfilled them, one for the pumpkin soup, and I think for these ones as well. One definitely siphoned and then it stopped all the others from sealing. So I put them in the fridge overnight, and then I reprocessed them the next day. So they're all done now, which is really good. And I've just pulled the pumpkin soup and the 3 celery out of the canner, so they are boiling hot. So I'm just going to leave them there. I also did, so excuse my dishevelness, I'm still
recovering from having a cold, and yeah, so I haven't really looked after myself today. Anyway, so I made the chicken stock, and I had that going for 3 nights. I turned that off on Sunday when I was sick, and I've put that into the fridge to sit, and now today I'm going to actually process that and can that. So it was done. I could have left it in the slow cooker for another few days, but it was already been in there for about 3 days, so I was happy to turn it off and just put it in the fridge once the crock pot cooled down, and I will show you that. And yeah, I'm just going to now can up the stock and get that processed. So usually when I do a big batch of stock, I actually do my big, I think it's a 6-litre slow cooker, but I only had one chicken frame to do and I didn't feel like making that much stock, so I've just done my little 2-litre one. Yeah, which will be fine. That'll just give me probably, I'm guessing, around 4 to 6 jars. So we'll see what happens. Okay, hopefully you can see this. I'm just going to do 2 strains. You could just do this one and get away with it, but I've just got my normal colander here. I'm just going to tip this into my colander. Oh, without making too much mess. Just to get out all of the big things. I'll have to clean that up. What's life without a bit of mess, hey? You could just do this in one step with the cheesecloth, but I just like to get out the solids first. So I'm just draining out the solids and I will throw them away. Okay, so this is what we have left with all the solids drained out. And you can just can it like this, but there is some sediment in there. So I'm going to try and get out as much as I can just to make it in a nice clear stock. But you don't have to do this next step. If you don't have any cheesecloth or even a Chuck's cloth works, yeah, or a cotton tea towel, I've used those before too. So you can use any of those. It's just to get out the solids that are in there. And hopefully without making too much mess, I'm actually just going to tip it back into the stock pot. Oh my goodness. I'm going to put my colander back in there. Now I've just got a cheesecloth thing that I've bought from online, and I'm just going to sit that in there, covering that. And now I'm going to, without hopefully making too much mess again, I'm going to tip this into there and let it drain. And I mean, as I said, you could just use the cheesecloth to start with, but I like to just get out the solids if I can first. So I'll just lift that up and this will drain. And this is what we have left. My stock is drained and strained, and this is what I have remaining in the cheesecloth, and I will just take this out and throw this in with my normal tea towel wash. I'm going to go and get some jars and we're going to can this up. So today I'm going to use my what's called lug lids, and these are the ones you get from the shop that have metal and that on them, and I'm just going to reuse these jars. As I've mentioned before, everything is packed away and I'm just using what's on my shelf that isn't packed away, more than going through boxes and unpacking boxes if I can help it. So let's just get these all canned up. Okay, just chopped up. I'm not sure how much you saw there, but anyway, we'll try this one. I'm going to really need to wash this rim, as the funnel doesn't, it fits over the top of it, not in it, so it's not very good. Same as this one. It's just resting on top. Hopefully I don't make a mess. Okay, I'll have to go get another jar. Okay, so I'm just wiping down, the rims with the vinegar just to make sure there's no fat left on them. Okay, so we got 5 jars there. I've got my son to double check my lids because I've been sick. I wasn't feeling overly strong. I wanted to make sure they were on properly, so he said they were. It's some advantages to having teenager boys around that are bigger than you. Anyway, so I've got 5 in here. I've topped up the water and it's well over, but yeah. Anyway, I'm going to bring that to a rolling boil and I will boil these for 3 hours. Now, I always find it confusing, but the difference between stock and broth. So I may be hugely overcooking these, but since I've been starting and I'm unsure, I have always just done 3 hours. So hopefully that's correct. Anyway, I'll put the lid on, and because the jars also, I want to say the stock was cold, so I put in cold water, and then, yeah, so that there's no thermal shock, and they should all come up to temperature and start boiling, hopefully within the hour. So it does take a while. So anyway, once it's on a boil, I will put the timer on for 3 hours. And this is all the canning done that I did last week. So these are the jars and they've all sealed with the chicken stock. So very successful canning week and very, very happy to have all of these meals on my shelves. I just want to say at the end of this video, a huge thank you to everyone, especially if you've stayed till now and you've watched. It really means the world to me. I'm so appreciative, and thank you for being patient. I used to be great with technology, but I seem to have gotten worse with it over the years, not better. And so thank you for your patience. I will try and upload some more videos of this soon. I do have, as I've mentioned previously, a backlog of videos that I recorded last year that I never got off my phone to put because I didn't have a laptop, so I couldn't process them and add them online. So I'm going to try and get those done, I think, in the next few weeks. So stay tuned for that because there's more canning videos in that. There might be a few gardening ones, a garden tour, but yeah, so there's a few things coming up. If you have stayed to the end, I would love it if you can put in the comments chicken stock and just let me know that you actually made it to the end. I'd really appreciate that. One of the videos I posted the other week, people dropped off 7 minutes in hugely. So if you have stayed to the end, I'd really love to know, and thank you for that. I really do appreciate it. If you like this video, please like. That really means a lot to me. It helps my channel grow and reach more people, and we can share this homesteading community even more, especially here in Australia. To see more Australian content, I think, is really important. Not to diss anyone else, like I watch a huge amount of American homesteading YouTubers, but I think for us Australians, it's kind of hard sometimes with the different seasons and the way things are for us to sort of stay in tune of what we're up to at the moment. So, and for me in Tassie, it can be hugely different to those that are in Queensland. Our growing seasons are completely different. We have more in common with obviously Victoria and Melbourne, but even that, Victoria and seems to be able to grow a lot more during winter than what we actually can here in Tassie. Sorry, itchy nose. I feel like I'm so limited in winter, so I'll do a lot more canning and things like that in winter. I don't have a lot going on in the garden, but I do think it's hugely important to grow this Australian community, and
Yeah, and I'd love to watch more Australian content. I've noticed recently there's a huge amount more of YouTubers that are Australian, which is fantastic. And I started this channel a couple of years ago now and then sort of didn't keep posting. So um, I'm determined to try and keep posting now, especially now that I'm left with one child at home. I have a lot more time, so hopefully I can do that. And now that I have a new laptop, hopefully I'll be able to upload those videos, and that's so much easier, which already I seem to be doing. And I'm recording here on my laptop instead of having to do it on my phone right now. So for me, that's a huge leap forward. I feel like as a single mum, I've prioritized just getting by each week, and I haven't invested in technology because if it breaks, it breaks. I can't, it's not a priority to fix and replace. And so I haven't. And I've made it through and I've made it work. And that's okay. Like it's completely what I needed to do. And that's completely fine for me. But now that I have this, I am so grateful that I have it. And I paid it off and like it's mine. I'm not paying it off long term. Like I actually went and got it. So um, yeah, I think it's really going to help me with these videos. So once again, thank you very much for being here and listening to me ramble on. As my boys would say, I like to yap. Um, so hopefully that can come across a little bit more because, yeah, I do like to talk a fair bit once I get to know someone. And so obviously I'm feeling a bit more comfortable doing this than my earlier videos because I am talking more. And yeah, if you see me go backwards in time in the next couple of months, don't be alarmed. It's just me putting up the videos that I should have put up last year that I didn't actually get to do. So, but there are videos, and I'll keep trying and make more videos as I go along as well. Obviously, I'm not just going to upload all old ones. So if there's anything you really want to see, I live in town, I rent. So for me, homesteading has always been a dream. And unfortunately for me, when I separated, we from the kid's father, I had a house on an acre, just or nearly 3 acres. Um, no, it was nearly an acre. Sorry. And yeah, so I got really into doing all of this back then, which was 14 years ago. And then we had to sell that place, and then I went into renting, and I've never been able to own again, which is fine. But it just means my videos are a little bit different to the traditional homesteaders that maybe have their own place and can do a little bit more. I'm probably more aimed at those who are renting or who have a small space or who can only garden in pots and things like that. So um, it's probably where I'm going to have to focus on for now. Um, so yeah, if that interests you, please stick around. I'd really love that, and I'd open up the conversation a bit more. I'd really appreciate that. And yeah, I really just want to thank you for being here, and I look forward to seeing you again next week. All right. Cheers, everyone. Bye.